NFL quarterback rankings: 18th, 19th, 20th, 22nd, 23rd. A quote from a league exec: "He is not as dynamic as those guys above him, and I think his passing leaves a little bit to be desired, but he is good, he makes enough plays, and they play defense behind him." Sound like Bo Nix entering year 3? That's around where he's been ranked all offseason. Actually, that was Josh Allen when he was entering his 3rd NFL season. Bo Nix is off to one of the best starts for a quarterback through 2 seasons in NFL history. He's the only quarterback with 10-plus wins and 30-plus touchdowns in each of his first 2 years. Tied for the most wins through 2 seasons with 24. Joined Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, and Justin Herbert as the only quarterbacks in league history with 25-plus touchdown passes in each of his first 2 seasons. And he paces the stellar 2024 quarterback class in wins, yards, and touchdowns. Yet, when you look around, people are still stuck with their very incorrect groupthink pre-draft notions about the former Auburn and Oregon dual threat. This offseason, we continue to see things like Nix being ranked well outside the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, talk that the third-year passer needs to step up his game, with the implication being that he's holding Denver back. Same thing they foolishly said about Allen. There was even a ranking of the top franchise quarterbacks to build around, and Nix was ranked 20th. Totally laughable. The separated from reality narrative persists that the Broncos somehow have only won games in spite of Nix. They're simply not attached to reality. The Broncos almost certainly would have been in the Super Bowl last season if not for Nix's unfortunate ankle fracture, and he's arguably already the biggest reason Denver was in that position. Just look at what Nix did to the NFL's #1 pass defense in that divisional round victory over the Bills. The Broncos put the game completely on Nix's shoulders, and he came through. People with blinders on might have missed the pinpoint throws, including throwing receivers open by putting the ball into spots only they can make a play on it, but it was happening all afternoon. Let's show some of the All-22 film from that game. Nix can sometimes be amped up to start, but he was immediately locked in for the first game as the AFC's #1 seed. On the move, throws a dart while running forward, right into the chest of Pat Bryant. Positive play to start things off. Then, still early first quarter, no one really open. Nix throws flat-footed in the totally perfect spot for Bryant to go down for it. Blanket coverage all over, but a perfect throw beats it. And people just don't watch or sometimes miss, but the arm talent, which has been obvious since his time in college, is on display. Second quarter, strike to Marvin Mims. After the snap, he sees it's one deep safety. I think it's a cover 3. Knows he can rip it in there. Notice it's subtly on the back hip, away from Cole Bishop as that deep middle safety. Doubters make it like Nix can't drive the ball, when in reality he does it all the time. Denver's first touchdown of the game. Not the most difficult throw in the world, but the lengthy Greg Rousseau bearing down on him, and the passes to an eligible offensive lineman in Frank Crum. You want to make it easy on the big guys. Nix flicks his wrist and puts it right on the money. How many times do you see an offensive lineman just barely missing catching a touchdown because the throw isn't perfect? You want to put it right on them, which Nix did. End of the first half. This is outstanding. 3rd and 10. Drive easily could have ended in a shootout where you need all the points you can get. Great protection here. Nix steps up and hits Mims again for a first. Notice he put the ball low for Mims. No danger of a tip pass or overthrow that leads to a pick. A couple of plays later, in position for a field goal. You hear all this talk about Nix being low ceiling, just not losing the game or whatever. Well, what is this? He rolls to his right, is under pressure, and stands in there to throw a beautiful deep ball to the opposite side of the field, hitting little Jordan Humphrey perfectly in the bucket. Third quarter, another 3rd down. He connects with Mims again, this time on a check down. Just look at how calmly he identifies the blitz while knowing he can get it out to his guy to make a play. Good pace on the pass, right in stride. It might seem like an easy play, but that's critical to convert a 3rd down and keep the ball away from Josh Allen. It's winning football, and you don't always see young quarterbacks do this. Fourth quarter, the Broncos offense didn't touch the ball for about 8 minutes. Now 4 minutes ago, looking to take the lead in the fourth quarter, down 4, field goal doesn't get it done. Evades some pressure, rolls to his right, gives a quick hand signal to Cortland Sutton while on the move. Pinpoint laser on the sideline, a little street ball to some extent, which Nix is great at, again, despite what you might hear. Yet another 3rd down, 3rd and 11 on this drive. Huge play, obviously. Pre-snap, a challenging look by the Buffalo defense with all the defenders around the line of scrimmage for a potential heavy blitz. The linebackers ultimately drop. Good protection for the routes to develop down the field, but the pocket was closing in a bit. Nix stands in there and drills it to Sutton. As we've seen, the precision to ensure only his guy is going to catch it, making it both a comfortable catch to just go down and secure it, and also avoiding again that potential for a tip or overthrow. 3rd down again. This is where you see the winning quarterbacks make big plays, as Nix does. Another pressure look, a design run where Nix shows his vision and ability as a ball carrier to keep the drive moving. Next snap, a go-ahead touchdown with a minute remaining. This time the Bills have on what looks like both a blitz and a spy with their 2 linebackers. Some pressure and a collapsing pocket. Matt Milano was right in Nix's face, but he delivers an insane throw pinpoint over Mims' shoulder and toward the pylon. Only for Mims, no defender is going to get that accurate of a pass. And look at Mims when Nix is about to release the ball. It's a double move and he's not even known to be open yet, but with that placement of the throw, it ends up being perfect. Really exceptional. Ultimately, that Brandon Cooks, Jaquan McMillan play loomed large, and the Broncos won in overtime. Nix totaled 308 yards with 3 touchdowns, leading Denver in both passing and rushing, with not much help from the ground game that day. Sean Payton and company trusted their guy to come through, and he did it in a major way versus a stingy pass defense, including in the fourth quarter and overtime. It was a true superstar performance. At Wolf Sports, we've been consistent on Nix, both as an elite prospect, essentially tied with Caleb Williams as 1A, 1B in the 2024 NFL Draft, and as an emerging top quarterback early in his NFL career. He's the only quarterback in league history with an interception rate below 2% and a sack rate below 4%. He's elite at avoiding negative plays, boosts the entire group around him, including the offensive line. We've seen the progress they've made since he's taken over at quarterback. Pair that with the insanely underrated playmaking, and it's the makings of a top player. We've had to put out a few videos on Nix, partly because we saw the same absurd disrespect happen with Josh Allen as a prospect and at the start of his career. It simply isn't right. When Allen became a star, people acted like the receipts weren't there. Quite honestly, you'd think those pundits would take a more positive approach to player evaluation and stop telling us how bad someone like Nix is, especially when they have no clue what they're talking about. Pretty crazy stuff. I've also seen some situations where pundits are reading off stats while declaring a quarterback as subpar. If you're not actually watching games, if you're reading stats and basing rankings off things like EPA, which most of us don't even know nor care what it is, you're simply doing it wrong. Nix wins both inside and outside the pocket with a lightning quick release, superb accuracy and ball placement, including on the move, playmaking ability, elite spatial awareness, a laser arm, wicked arm angles, skill as a pure runner, and extreme clutch ability. If Bo stays healthy, with Jalen Waddle now in the mix, deepening that receiving group, including making Courtland Sutton someone who can potentially feast on more favorable coverage. If Waddle has that type of impact Stephon Diggs did for Buffalo and Allen's third season, watch out. What do you think? Will Bo Nix continue making the haters look foolish, just like Josh Allen did? Does he continue to play at a high level to become an undeniable superstar like Allen? Let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching.